Here we are with my old friend, colleague and Hall of Famer after the biggest win ever for an Italian tennis player, because Jannik Sinner had won the Australian Open, but this time he has won the US Open, 3 straight sets versus Taylor Fritz. They were 3 straight sets also against Jack Draper, 3 straight sets against Tommy Paul. Just 1 set lost with Daniil Medvedev in the last matches. Steve, what is your reaction to that?
Yeah, well, it's impressive when you think about it. That yes, he won the second set against Medvedev, but he won the other 3 sets very easily. And then to close on a run like that, especially in the semis and finals, it's very impressive. I actually thought this was maybe the best he played. I like the way he played the whole match. It's true that he lost his serve once in the first set, but he broke Fritz 3 times. Yeah. Then you and I were sitting there at the end of the second with Fritz about to serve at 4-5, trying to determine the odds on a break coming up. And sure enough, we both agreed there was a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Sinner did get the break there to go up 2 sets. He went down after having a chance to break in the middle of the third. He went down 5-3. But he held his serve, and he ended up winning 4 games in a row, Ubaldo, at the end to close it out 7-5. So Fritz was on the verge of sealing one of the sets, but it didn't work out. Very good performance from Sinner.
Yeah, very good performance, and he never had we never had the impression that he could lose, to be honest.
Right, I agree.
Because when they were rallying from the baseline, most of the times he wasn't missing. At the end of the match, he made only 21 unforced errors and Fritz 34. I mean, it's huge, 13 points of difference, I mean, in terms of unforced errors.
Yeah, and think about it. 9 games in the first, 10 games in the second, 12 games in the third. So 19 and 12 is 31 games, and he only makes 21 unforced errors. It's a lot of points played in those games. Yeah. It tells you how solid he was. And by the way, Fritz did not have an embarrassing number himself. What did he have? 34, Ubaldo.
Yes.
So yeah. that shows you this was a pretty high quality match. I think that those numbers tell us a lot.
Another number that tells a lot is the percentage of serve of winning points on the first set by Sinner, because he has 88%, which means almost 9 points out of 10 every time he serves the first in.
Yes, and that was 20% higher than Fritz, who has a very big serve. Yeah. And I think the reason for that, partially, Sinner moved way back, Ubaldo, for those returns.
Yeah.
He seemed to be standing almost in the fence, almost the way Medvedev does, but it worked because he'd make the return deep and then move in closer to the baseline and take control of some of those points. It was good strategy.
Yes, and then, he had 12 break points on Fritz's serve. I mean, and he broke him 6 times.
Yes.
Which is, against someone who serves so well like Fritz, is not easy.
And only lost his own serve twice.
Yeah.
That was once in the first set and once to go down a break in the third. So that was also impressive because Fritz was putting him under a fair amount of pressure.
Yeah. At this moment, it's 55 wins this year for Sinner, only 5 losses. Out of those 5 losses, I remember 1 in Indian Wells, 1 at Roland Garros, and 1 in Wimbledon, where he wasn't feeling too well. I mean, in Roland Garros, we didn't know if he could play the tournament or not. In Indian Wells, he won the first set easily against Alcaraz, and then something happened, and he didn't seem to be fine.
Which happened in Roland Garros, too. He won the first set and went up 2-love against Carlos early there, but he didn't look as sharp later on in the match, which he lost in 5. Yeah. You're right. There are a number of those occasions where he was not himself.
Yeah, and then even in Wimbledon, when he lost to Medvedev, he said that he didn't sleep at all during the night. He had stomach problem and things like that. So, only 5 losses, and 3 of them, in a way, disputable.
Yeah, absolutely right. No, he's clear. He's far and away. He splits the 4 majors with Alcaraz this year.
Yeah.
But he thoroughly deserves to be number 1 in the world, and he will close the year at number 1 in the world, which I told you would happen very early this season. Did I not?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It was a good prediction, and now he has a lot of points in front of Zverev, who is the biggest competitor in terms of points in this moment.
And it's good for him, Ubaldo, because he can close the year without the pressure of worrying too much about the ranking, which is almost certain to be his, and just play for the titles, try to win a few more tournaments, and set the stage for another great campaign in 2025.
Sure, he won 6 tournaments this year, which are and two Masters 1000, 2 slams. I mean, he's really dominating, I would say, the year. He deserves to be number 1, and of course Italy is very proud of this, because we never had such a champion. Nobody has ever won 2 slams in the same year for Italy. We had Pietrangeli winning 2 slams at Roland Garros, but one after the other, and Panatta winning just 1, and the girls, when they won it, Schiavone or Pennetta, they won only 1. He is the first Italian wins 2.
Yeah, no, it's very impressive, and we know he's going to win a lot more. Carlos has 4 now, Sinner has 2. Sinner is going to be closing that gap, in my view. We'll see where they stand by the end of, say, 2026, because Sinner's going to be picking them up in clusters as well. They're going to be the dominant forces. Djokovic will have more to say. He wants that 25th major. But these two, when you look at the next 5 years, will dominate the game.
Okay, thanks a lot to Steve Flink, my old friend, colleague and Hall of Famer. I hope to see you soon. We will have some chat, some video that we will do at the end of each important event. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Ubaldo.